someone who was an actual survivor of the Titanic, how much research did you put into the character?
It's daunting, you know, because they actually were alive. I did lots of research. He's a fascinating guy as well. I mean, the film's not about him, it's not about Lightholler, but you could make a film out of that guy's life. He had an extraordinary, difficult life, and he's kind of known as being as a bit of a hero throughout history, although, you know, Jullian wanted to play the flaws as well in this, which I think is a good idea.
And there are flaws then?
Well,
and northern as well, isn't it?
He is northern,
That's not a flaw though. Well, you weren't allowed to play it northern?
No, not that I wasn't allowed to play it northern. What happened was, everyone was cast by one director who fell ill, couldn't do it. So we had another director who, at the read-through, got his head together with Jullian and sort of said, we want Lightholler to be a little more posher. So I sort of went into the read-through talking like that and then came out talking like this. So it's not really my interpretation, I have to say, of that character, because I saw him as more playing the northern edges, you know, because he had a really rough ride.
Because you don't actually, being a northerner, because, you know, I can talk about this, you know, you don't lose it, do you? You always have that northern grit and you always have that accent, so I bet you are missing sort of putting the northern slant on it.
It's not so much just his accent and things, I think it's what he'd been through, you know, and the way that I saw the character. Anyway, I mean, I think it works, because it's not about him, you know, it's a real ensemble piece, and it fits in perfectly.
And how you were talking about Jullian Fellowes, who wrote Downton Abbey. He has written this as well, hasn't he?
He has, which is, I mean, listen, they've really set themselves up. It's a risky business, because you're talking about Jullian Fellowes and Titanic, and immediately think of Cameron's Titanic and Downton Abbey, so they're big shoes to fill.
What's the budget? It's a crazy budget.
11 million, I think.
What? For TV?
How does it differ then from both of those epic things, you know, from Downton and Titanic? Has it taken aspects of both, or is it very standalone?
I think it has taken aspects. I think the selling point with this really is the premise and the conceit that it hits the iceberg every episode.
Oh, you're spoiling it for me now.
Did you not watch it?
No, I'm joking.
No, you know,
every episode,
which some people don't quite like, but you know, I'll tell you, it's one way you have to stick with it. To gain some momentum, to find out about the characters and the relationships. There are all secrets revealed and things that you wouldn't suspect. And things that will be shed, sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, it's all the human stories, but do they overlap as the episodes, or are they just isolated, separate stories?
They do overlap, yeah. We had to shoot all of the scenes just from a different character's point of view, so you know, it was heavy scheduled shooting. But it's like, imagine if it's a block, if you turn it around now, on Sunday you'll see someone else's point of view and then you turn it around again.
So it's a permanent emergency situation?
It is, yeah. So about halfway through it's an emergency, but I think what's fascinating is it's the people's relationships and secrets that reveal.
So where's the set? It must be a massive set.
It's a huge set in Hungary, yeah. You know,
in Hungary?
No water inside. It's a landlocked country, Hungary. We did it all in the studio, and then we built a huge tank, and then for the last 2 weeks dived into the tank.
So when you went for the meeting, did they ask you if you could swim?
No, they didn't, and I thought, you know, what if I couldn't swim? I had lots and lots of swimming to do. They could, you know,
you'd be in a tank, weren't you? Did you do any of that?
We're in a huge tank. It's a huge tank width-wise, but you can actually walk.
Oh, well, you might be able to walk. Some of us might.
For a bit of authenticity.
No, they didn't. It was absolutely sweltering, and I'm wearing my pyjamas and the uniform, because my character, he got out of bed, he was wearing his pyjamas and put his uniform on top, and it's sweltering and lots of, you know, swimming. So
sorry, following on from, you know, one iconic programme to another, The Sweeney. You're involved in the remaking of The Sweeney, but the movie this time.
The Sweeney the movie, it is about time, isn't it? Yeah, Nick Love. You know Nick Love, he's in the business, and he's the man if you want to do a violent movie. And
Did he direct it or write it?
He wrote and directed it, yeah.
Right. Don't tell me that the business, Danny dies in it.
He's not in it.
He's not in it?
Ray Winston's in it.
Is he?
Danny was playing the Dennis Waterman part.
There was, yeah. No, he did. Plan B plays that part. I'm just one of the Sweeney.
Just one of the Sweeney.
You get to beat up lots of crims.
I beat up crims, I get shot, I shoot people. Yeah, it's a good
Was that a joy? Did you do that first or
I did that just after Titanic, so yeah, it's a completely different change of tack. I've worked with Ray Winston before, it was great to work with Ray again. And completely different. It's nice to be able to do one thing.
I noticed as well as you're waving your hand around, you've got a tattoo.
Oh, what are you yourself for?
Yeah, they each have significant meanings, which I'm not going to tell you about. I've got loads.
They all seem to be linked, though. Some people, their tattoos are quite disparate. Yours seem very similar.
I like mine in a bit of a frame. I don't know why that is. But it's just an idea that I came up with.
Let's have a look at that one again now.
What makes you do that then?
Holy
Stephen? What made you... So you've got quite a few.
Yeah.
What is it that you like about them?
Well, I have to say this was pre-explosion, pre-tattoo explosion. I started sort of 89 was my first one on my ankle. And...
What have you got on your ankle?
I'm not telling you. And since the explosion... Oh, here we go.
Now that is very pretty.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Flowers.
Thank you.
Flowers. Divine.
Do you know, she's like a little ferret. Where did you get the... I mean, did it run in the family, or...?
My dad's got a tattoo of my mum's name there, Avril. And ever since I was a kid, it's like, I'm going to get one of them. As soon as I'm 16, he said, wait. You know, I did wait, but then when I was about 18, I started getting tattoos.
Have you thought about it, what's going to look like when you're like 85?
Yeah, already the belly's gone, you know, so it's like, it used to be really nice and tight, now it's just got wider. It's just a bigger tattoo.
It's funny though, your dad said, wait, you know, he obviously tried to dissuade you from having it done.
He did, yeah, I think, yeah.
What's interesting about your dad as well, we were reading that you had an option, a real kind of crossroads in your life where your dad got you a perfectly good job, didn't he?
Yeah.
What was it to do?
He put my name down, he's a miner, he's a steel worker and a miner, and he put my name down on the list and my name came up when I was 16 and I was going to take it. But my drama, Ian Fairbrass, the guy who taught me acting basically at school, said have a think about it, maybe you should stay on. My dad said that's a good idea, try and be an actor. So I don't think my dad realised how risky that is, you know. Yeah, be an actor, have a go at that, you know.
Oh, well thank goodness you did.
Oh, yeah.
And you sat here, you poor man. Fantastic talking to you, and best of luck with the series. It's Titanic ITV1 Sundays at 9 PM. It's Steven Waddington, everyone.